Here now, Karl Rove, former Deputy Chief of Staff to President George W. Bush and a Fox News contributor, and Juan Williams, co-host of The Five and Fox News political analyst. You know, I mean, this is at the heart of what we're discussing here. We still have no process for these individuals who I think everybody sympathizes with. But the fact of the matter is that we're putting them in a very dangerous situation when they try to cross this border. And meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi, Juan, is talking about how it's too dangerous to do the State of the Union address.
Well, I think that her critics are right to say that's political gamesmanship. But on the other hand, Martha, what you've got to realize is you're giving President Trump an opportunity to then demonize these people, these desperate, sad people who are trying to make their way here because they believe in the American dream. So you have a situation where the president gave an Oval Office address. She said he can give another Oval Office address. But when you have Democrats in control of the House, he's asking to come into their house and to tell his lies and his distortions in a way that I think she finds, reprehensible.
Karl.
Well, first of all, Juan is prejudging the president's speech. Maybe he helped write it. I don't know. But look.
Have you been writing the president's speeches?
That's one of the secrets Karl has.
Yeah, this has never happened in American history. The House of Representatives, the Congress of the United States, has never refused an opportunity for the President of the United States, if they wanted to deliver the State of the Union address in person. This is an extraordinary moment, and it shows exactly how partisan we become, how polarized we become, and in Nancy Pelosi's case, how absolutely irresponsible. Juan's worried about the truth. Nancy Pelosi did not tell the truth today when she claimed that this was all because of national security. She did this because she is angry with the president. She wants to humiliate the president. She wants the president to surrender. She's like, Ulysses S. Grant at the Battle of Fort Donelson. She wants immediate and unconditional surrender, and this is her way to do it. Shame on her for doing this. America deserves better than this kind of politics.
Representative Ro Khanna, who's a Democrat from California today, had a suggestion. He said maybe we should bring in mediators because it works very well in the private sector, and sort of all get in a room and encourage them to help us figure this out. I couldn't help but think to myself, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what Congress is supposed to do.
That's a good point.
It's ridiculous to think that they can't get into a room. And why don't they? This is something that occurs to me every time I watch these things. Why don't they just look at each other and say, okay, good, we're going into the room, we're not coming out until we have a solution? Well,
I think that would require compromise. And actually, the polls indicate both sides don't want compromise. Both sides think they're right. But I will say this, these are not normal times in American politics. Karl says polarized. I couldn't agree more. And they're so polarized at the moment, Martha, that the government is not functional, that we hear today about the president ordering back nearly 50,000 IRS workers or making attempts to try to normalize things. But the fact is, he has taken an intransigent stance. He said to Nancy Pelosi in an Oval Office meeting, if I give you the 3 weeks, and by the way, as you know, some Republicans and Democrats have sent him a letter asking for a 3-week period for negotiation. He said at the end of that 3 weeks.
Chris Coons is one of them. He's coming up.
Yeah, he said at the end of that 3 weeks, are you going to agree to a wall? She said no. I mean, he wants to prejudge what happens before you go in the room, and he is insisting.
They already said they would agree to building a border fence. They've said it for the past 10 years.
You said
what difference does it make
a huge difference because you can do border security. Americans, you and I would agree border security is important.
Let me ask you a question. Should people be able to cross just at openings, go over the fences? Should they be allowed to do that?
No.
So what do you want to do it with?
What I want to do with, I want border security. I want a legal asylum process, the legitimate asylum process, where people are not
But you're hung up on whether or not the thing is called a wall or not.
No. He wants a wall that is ineffective and inefficient.
No, it's not. It is not, Juan.
It is. Every wall in the world.
No, Juan. When the wall was put in by George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton in San Diego, illegal border crossings dropped by 95%.
In that area.
Yeah, that's right. But everywhere we put a wall in a major urban area. Look, you do not want to have a neighborhood in Mexico that abuts a neighborhood in the United States where people can just move across that border.
Well, there's a wall there.
Put a wall there.
There is a wall there.
I know.
So that's what I'm saying. Democrats voted for that. But you're talking about sea to shining sea.
No, he's not. No, he is not. No, he is not. This is Juan, I hate to have to correct you, but read the goddamn bill. Read the proposal that has been set up by the Hill.
I'll tell you what you should do.
254 additional miles.
You should go listen to Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, and Ann Coulter because they're running this government and they're forced this president into a trap.
look,
they're not.
Yeah, they are. They're the ones because otherwise.
Well, that's not what the president proposed. Is the point?
Well, look.
That is not what the president proposed. What you described.
Here's what
so maybe you've been listening to the
No, because guess what? Last year there was a deal that would have given him the Dreamers in exchange for the wall, and guess what? At that point, the hard right said, unless you cut legal immigration, that wasn't acceptable.
All right, so Juan won't defend his position. I understand why he won't defend his position. I do think something.
We gotta go.
Tomorrow, I've got this in my column in the Wall Street Journal. I think the president ought to say explicitly, you know what? If you'll give me the wall, I will give you a legal status for the Dreamers. Put it on the table. He's been willing to do it in the past. And then we'll see whether or not the Democrats are going to simply be mindless obstructionists or whether they're going to do the right thing for the country.
We will see. And that is where he was before, as you point out.
I think this is a fact.
And perhaps there's a lot of people who work in the White House who think that would be a good idea, too. So we'll see. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, you, Juan.